In this thrilling video, I am going to show you how to use quick polls in your classroom. And I use quick polls in a couple of different ways. I'm sure that other people have other ways, so it would be really neat to hear what other people are doing or how they're using the quick polls. But just to get started, let's suppose I'll just create a scenario in my classroom. All of my students come in, they get logged in, and I've obviously already started class because that's the only way that they can get logged in. We're doing a problem, and I want to know what my students have got or what my students found as their answer to question number 5. So instead of having like this big whole document that I've already saved, what I can do is I can just create something on the fly and send it out to them and collect that data back after they have completed the problem. So how will I do this? Well, if I want to create a new document, so let's say I don't have anything open here. If I would like to create a new document, I'll just hit this paper with the plus sign and always select the top one. And instead of adding one of these 7 options, I actually want to just insert a question. So up here, I'm going to click on Insert, Question. And there's tons of different questions that you can, or tons of types of questions that you can send out to them, like custom choice where you can type stuff in. Maybe it was an ABCD question. Maybe it was just true or false. I just want to know what number they got or what the numerical value of question number 5 is. So I'm going to select on expression. But notice how you can have them select, if it was a polynomial answer, they could type this in as well. So if they had any variables in there, maybe it was just an expression, I just want a numerical answer. It comes up as a blank screen. You could send this completely blank out to them and just tell them verbally, type in your answer to number 5. Or if you want to prompt them, you can type in something like number 5 really quick. And now let's send it out to them. So in order to send this to them, this one screen or this one slide will be sent to them and they have to send it back. That's what makes this a quick poll. It's just one quick slide. Up here, let's click Start Poll, and this will be grayed out if you haven't started class. And what ends up happening is the Review tab opens up in here. So now we have this Review tab. This file is sent to all of your students and they can type in their answers. So as students are typing, you should be able to see if students are working or not. I don't know why this isn't working. This typically does in my classroom. I don't know if it's more because like right here, see how it says 0 out of 3 working? Usually it will tell me when students are typing in answers, but for some reason it's not showing that. Oh, there we go. So you can see that one student is working. They've typed in something weird, so they need to fix it. Maybe they answered it incorrectly and meant to just type in 6, and it will change it. When they're done typing in their work and they are, ready to lock in their answers, on their handheld, they'll hit Doc 1 and it will submit it. So now this working student has submitted it. It is completely gone from their handheld calculator, and you have now collected the data. You can either choose to have this data up as the students are submitting, or you might just want to leave it on the screen and wait until the end, so that way the answers up at the board are not influencing the other students. So let's say this student also gets 6, and this last student here ended up getting 5. Now you can see that all 3 students in the class, this is a big, large class of mine, of 3 students, have all submitted. So you're ready to move on, and you can hit Stop Poll. If you want, you can hover to see what students selected which answers, or you can just use their answers as a way to drive classroom discussions. You might want to ask the class, how did this person get 5? They were really close, and some of them might say, oh, they forgot a negative sign here. Just things like that can spark classroom conversations. You can hover over any of these bars. So Rob got it wrong, Sue and Christina got this correct. If you click on it, it will turn blue, but if you right-click on it, you can mark this response as correct. And you can see maybe just, I don't know, I sometimes use this just so students can see as their answers are being typed in who is right and who is wrong. You don't have to use that feature at all. You could just tell them verbally. Maybe 5 also is a right answer. You can select both of them. So you can select multiple answers that are actually correct. Okay, let's head back to the document page, and I just want to show you just one more way that I use quick polls as a means of like data collection for homework assignments. So I have already pre-created these quick poll files, so I need to open a document. And make sure you save this in a correct spot or in just a spot that you know where it is. I like to save my Nspire files in the file that I have all of my unit stuff in. So this is my Unit 1 equations file. And as you can see, I know I have probably at least 15 other files in here, but only the Nspire files will show up because that's the only file that's supported. And I'm going to open this. Now, you can see here in this file, I have tons of pages. In fact, 1 page for every single lesson. But what I will do is when students are first entering the classroom, I will have my Nspire program all set up. I'll have the class started, and as I'm outside of the classroom in the hallway, the students will be able to start submitting things because as soon as they get logged into the calculator, the quick poll will appear. All right, let's pretend we're on 1.8 real life applications day 1. So what on earth is this file? Well, let's start the poll. What ends up happening is that now I have sent out this 1 page of this 9-page document. And what will happen is that the students can't get they don't have any access to the other pages. Quick polls send out 1 thing and send back 1 thing. They cannot send back a whole document of pages. So I've just sent them 1 page. What I can have them do is just type in their data. As you can see, 1 out of 3 students are working right now. Oh, look, 2 out of 3 students were working right now. And no one is submitted yet, so maybe one of the students was like, oh yeah, this assignment, I was so confused by it. They'll submit, hit Doc 1 to submit, and they're locked in. So 1 of 3 students is working, but 1 of 3 has submitted. Maybe this person was like, oh no, I didn't mean to select that one. I meant to select only questions 1 and 2. So they can go and edit. When they're done editing, they can hit Doc 1, it submits it, and again, it removes it from their calculator for them. And let's say the 3rd student just had questions with problem number 1. So this tells me what the questions the students would like to see, so I don't have to go over all of them in class. And here's my data, and it looks like 2 of the 3 students in the class had trouble with question 1, and 1 of those 3 students had questions with all of the problems. So what that means to me is that I would most likely go over question number 1 in class. I don't think I'd bother going over 3, 4, and 5. Instead, what I would say is to this person up here, I probably would not hover over this in the middle of class, but I'd talk to Sue at some point during the class period and say, yo, Sue, when are you going to get extra help? Obviously, this assignment was hard for you. Are you going to stay after? Are you going to go to tutorial? It just creates some good conversations between you and the students without having to call them out in front of the whole class saying, haha, Sue had trouble with everything. She's stupid. No, we wouldn't do that. We would talk to the students and be a little bit more proactive. If you want to, you can also save this to your portfolio. So if you ever want to save the results of these quick polls, I've done a few of them because I've tried to make this video way too many times. So even if there's mistakes in this, I am not making a new one. So I am so sorry if I have said weird and strange things. I think this is the 3rd time I'm recording this. So anyways, let's go to the portfolio tab. I have not saved anything to any of my classes, but I can go back to my review tab, and if I exit out, it will prompt me, do you want to, I do want to stop the poll, so I'll hit stop the poll, but if I exit out, it will say, do you want to save? And I'll hit save. I might change this to 1.8 lesson or 1.8 homework. So what ends up happening is it closes it out and moves it right into my portfolio. I can click on the 1.8 lesson and see what each one of the students selected for the different questions.